You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. Police in Berwick are on the hunt for a man accused of slashing another man with a machete over the weekend. The victim, a masonry worker, got into an alleged verbal argument outside a Pine Street home around 9:15 Sunday night with 41-year-old Marlon Melendez-Reyes over money owed. Police say at one point the victim called Melendez-Reyes a drug-dealing junkie, which is when Melendez-Reyes went back inside, came out with a machete, and slashed the victim's left arm. The victim was able to free himself and ran down the street, but Melendez-Reyes briefly chased after him, shouting, "I'm going to effing kill you," before fleeing with the machete. The victim was taken to the hospital for treatment of his injuries and was released, but police allege that since the attack, Melendez-Reyes has still been able to threaten the victim's life. Melendez-Reyes is described as a clean-shaven 5'6" male weighing 150 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes, and was charged with attempted homicide, aggravated assault, terroristic threats, and possessing an instrument of crime. Anyone who sees him should steer clear and call 911 immediately, as he's believed to be armed, extremely dangerous, and prone to violence. A Mahanoy City woman crashed into a treatment center just after midnight Sunday. Emergency personnel were dispatched to the Silver Pines Treatment Center on White Owl Drive in Mahanoy Township for an accident involving a vehicle into a structure. Once on scene, it was found that a 1999 Mercury Mountaineer crashed into the office area of the facility. State police at Frackville said a 41-year-old woman, who they did not identify, was driving along East End Road when she fell asleep, lost control, went off the road, down an embankment, and into the building. Damage to the building was evident, but no injuries were reported. The woman was placed under arrest for suspicion of DUI as the crash investigation continues. The Shenandoah Police Department's investigating an assault that occurred Monday. Police were called to the 900 block of West Cole Street around 4:45 p.m. Monday for an incident involving a 17-year-old that was struck in the back of the head with a handgun. The victim was transported to an area hospital for treatment. So far, one juvenile was taken into custody and charged, but police are still looking for anyone else who may have witnessed the incident. Anyone with information is being asked to contact Shenandoah Police through the Schuylkill County Communications Center at 570-462-1991. The Luzerne County Election Bureau learned of the contributing factors that resulted in the 2021 primary ballot mislabeling error. According to Dominion, it was, quote, human error that led to Republican electronic ballots being labeled Democrat on the viewing screen header last Tuesday, not a coding error or issue with the system itself. County Administrative Services acknowledged that the county does not test the on-screen ballots after they're approved. This leaves it up to Dominion to program them into the devices, with no county examination before the electronic ballot marking machines are locked up for delivery. Hazleton City Council will consider the first reading of an ordinance that would restructure wage taxes for 2022, but keep them at current levels. The proposal would keep the earned income tax rate for residents at 1.75% and the non-resident rate at 2%. Although the overall rates will not change, the resident tax will no longer include a portion that's levied under Act 47. If the city gets approval from both council and the courts, the rates would be effective from July 1st through June 30th of 2022. The link for tonight's 6 o'clock meeting at City Hall is available at hazeltoncity.org. Residents of Sugarloaf Township opposed to plans for a 150-foot Verizon cell phone tower gathered for last night's zoning board hearing. The public was limited to asking questions, which they directed toward understanding the suitability and safety of the proposed towers in a residential site, as well as what other lands were considered. Verizon said large plots of land work best for towers, but the sites already zoned for industrial or commercial use were too small or had towers nearby and wouldn't have improved service. Cunningham Borough President Gary Gregory previously noted that residents already knew that Verizon's been seeking a lease in the area for years and that the proceeds from the lease would go to parks. All PennDOT driver's license and photo centers will be closed for the Memorial Day holiday. Their doors will be closed Saturday, May 29th through Monday, May 31st in observance of the holiday. Customers can still obtain a variety of driver and vehicle products and services online at dmv.pa.gov. Motorists can also check major roadway conditions online at 511pa.com or by downloading the mobile app. And speaking of PennDOT, our Philip Kaufman spoke with some representatives to discuss driver safety over Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day weekend is around the corner, and whether you're driving to the market to pick up some good eats for the grill or taking the family out for a weekend getaway, it's always important to remember vehicle safety when everyone is out and about on the road.
You know, as the months are going on and the state is opening up, the weather's getting nicer, there's more people traveling. So you want to make sure that if you are traveling for the holiday weekend, that you want to, your travel ahead of time, know your routes. You want to make sure that you check if there's any construction or any crashes on PA 511.
And be alert for work zones and our emergency responders out on the job.
I would say work zone safety is a key. The construction doesn't go on during the holidays, and that if there's a work zone that's permanently up, follow the speed limit. And also local police departments and state police will be out checking for speeders, texting and driving, seatbelts, all the different safety issues. So they should just be aware of surroundings and take their time when they're out traveling.
And speaking of those individuals out there, if you do see someone pulled over on the side of the road or emergency vehicles out there, remember the move over law.
Over the last couple of weeks, we talked a lot about the move over law. It used to be the steer clear law, now it's the move over law. And people traveling, you may get some incidences like crashes. So if you do come up alongside a crash, you want to make sure that if you can move over safely or at least lower your speed to 20 miles an hour below the speed limit posted, so we can give those tow truck drivers, EMS personnel, police, state police, a chance to respond to the incident safely.
And finally, you always got to remember to click in with those seatbelts.
May is Click It or Ticket Month nationally and here in Pennsylvania. So we always focus on safe driving, especially around the Memorial Day holiday weekend. So with Click It or Ticket, we just want to remind everybody that to wear their seatbelt.
And while you're out there, folks, if you need to stop for a break and you're driving past one of those rest stops participating, you can wake yourself up with a fresh cup of joe, courtesy of local community groups and PennDOT.
The coffee breaks are back on a limited basis this time around for Memorial Day. Hopefully Memorial Day and 4th of July and Labor Day, they'll be back more. Right now, in Luzerne County, we have there is a group that's going to be working out in Dorrance. So I think Dorrance is the only one right now in Luzerne County that we're going to have some coffee break time out there. I don't know if they're going to be out there the whole time, but they'll be out there sometime during the holiday.
So be safe out there and enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Reporting for Wyln News, I'm Philip Kaufman.
Thanks, Phil. Coming up on Wyln News, Launch Pottsville is back, plus talking Comets coaches and Crestwood football. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ezra. I'm 5 years old, and it's gonna rain out. Bye.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton. We're talking about TNT. We're talking about trucks and trade-ins. If you got a truck that you don't want or you're looking for a truck, we've got a huge selection of pre-owned trucks right now. We have got Rubicons. We have got GMCs, Ford Flexes. We have got a Ram dually diesel. If you're in the market for a truck or you want to get rid of your truck, you'll never get more ever than it's worth right now. So come on down to 508 Susquehanna Boulevard in Hazleton and see why we'll give you more for the trade that those other guys won't.
The Pottsville Area Development Corporation greenlit 2021's Launch Pottsville competition. Launch Pottsville will be a business plan contest targeting the strategic redevelopment area in downtown Pottsville. The competition will be a 3-phase, 9-month business plan contest where up to 3 entrepreneurs will be awarded $50,000 in startup capital and nearly $10,000 in pro bono goods and services. First Phase 1 applications will be formally accepted between June 1st and September 1st. There's no fee to enter, and anyone who submitted for last year's postponement are encouraged to revise and resubmit. Details will be released by June 1st, so visit downtownpottsville.com for more information. Regal Cinemas finally reopened its Hazleton location Friday night. The theater's been closed for months at a time over the past year due to the pandemic. The latest safety protocols will be in place, meaning that masks and social distancing for unvaccinated people will be required in the theaters and concession area. Our Wyln Sports crew is proud to present you live local Little League Baseball. Buy those peanuts and Cracker Jacks for our live game of the week this Thursday, May 27th, as Maylaugh takes on Golds. Tune in Thursday night at 6 for all the live local action right here on WYLN TV, your home for live local sports. The game will also rebroadcast on Saturday at noon. WYLN's all-time OTC hero Marty Burns has the in-depth analysis of what's happening on and off-season across our viewing area. Crestwood senior Ryan Petrosky's on this week, so let's talk sports. Here's part 2.
And we talked about you played football this year, then the basketball, as we've just discussed, and then baseball. Different coaches, different styles. Is there one similarity between your coaches?
They all like to win, and they all have a factor in them that deep down drives them that no matter what it takes that they want to win. And every single coach that I have really cares about you as a person and what you're going through. And if you have to talk to them about anything, they're always there to talk to also.
Now, I know I haven't had the opportunity to get to know your baseball coach, so I'm just going to focus on the 3 coaches that you've had, Coach Myers, Coach Arcangeli, and Coach Atherton. Your football coaches, I know Coach Arcangeli, and I know I butchered his name again, and everybody yell at me, but he was on Coach Myers' staff, but took over and added his own style. Talk about the differences, but how everything seems to have followed through.
You could tell that Coach Ark learned a lot from Coach Myers. And Coach Myers, I had them both, Coach Ark and Coach Myers, for 2 years. Coach Myers the first 2 years. They were both great coaches, both great football minds, both great people. The difference is Coach Myers is a little bit more laid back and always seems more cool and calm than Coach Ark is. And Coach Ark is a very fiery guy. And it's tough not to be fired up when you're around Coach Ark. And just the way even when he speaks a sentence to you, you always seem to have a little jolt and get ready to go. But they're both 2 great coaches.
Coming up on Yorkville's News Choice, we're talking Memorial Day weekend on this Trooper Talk Tuesday. Plus, Leading the Way, Part 2. Stay with us.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Go Hog Wild for Iron Pigs Baseball. WYLN is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs live. America's favorite pastime on your local network, WYLN TV 35. See the Stars of Tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on WYLN TV 35. Visit WYLNTV.com for a complete Iron Pigs schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on WYLN, your home for live sports.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
From the bottom of our hearts, the WYLN TV 35 family would like to say thank you to all essential workers for your service to our community and for keeping us safe.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information.
Did you know that WYLN News provides news updates every weekday afternoon
At 1, 3, and 5 here on TV and on social media?
Did you also know you can watch WYLN News on the go by visiting our website or YouTube page?
Now more than ever,
WYLN is your local news leader.
Hello folks, and welcome to Trooper Talk Tuesday here on WYLN. We are joined as always by State Trooper Anthony Petrosky. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Folks, Memorial Day weekend is coming up, and there's a lot of different safety tips we need to be aware of. People are out, people are on vacation, people are, especially in this area, we're in northeastern Pennsylvania, we're around the Poconos. Everybody's going to be coming out, celebrating, barbecuing. You never know what's going to be out there, so we got to have some safety tips just so you guys are safe out there. So, why don't we start off just in general, what are some of the things that people need to be aware of on Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah, so now that some things are starting to open up again, there's going to be more travel. More travel means more cars out on the road. So we need to be aware of that. You need to be aware if you're planning a trip, plan ahead. You know, it may take you longer to get there because of traffic. And when there's more cars on the road, there's more troopers on the road because we have to ensure safety. So we'll be out there, we'll be stopping cars just like we always do. It's not a big secret. So, make sure you abide by the laws of the road at all times. On top of that, people are going to be going out. They might be going to bars, restaurants. Do not drink and drive. We will be out there. We will be enforcing the laws. Anybody who's impaired, whether it be alcohol or controlled substance, they will be arrested for DUI. It costs a lot of money. You will have a criminal record. And it is all trouble you can avoid by planning ahead and having a designated driver, using a ride-sharing app. Just planning ahead. It's very simple. Have that person that will safely take you around. I know it's great now, things are starting to open up, starting to get back to some normalcy. And I think that's great, but let's do it safely. On top of that, if you're having the parties, again, please be responsible. Don't let people drive away if they've had too much alcohol. And also, respect your neighbors. Keep the music down, respect your neighbor's property. It's not worth it getting in a fight that's going to cause a rift between you and your neighbor, and now police get called, now citations are involved. It's not worth it. It's all about having fun while being responsible.
Aside from being on the major roads, if you're going through communities, driving around, I know a lot of people, especially in those kind of communities that are rental houses and stuff like that, there are a lot of people out on the road all the time, just hiking around, walking around. So just kind of guidelines for that.
Yeah, be aware that there's going to be people walking around on the road. They might not be from the area. They might think that they could safely cross the road. When you stop at a stop sign, come to a complete stop. Make sure that there's nobody waiting to pass. Don't get confused and think that they're not going to walk and then you take off and all of a sudden now we're investigating a crash. Let the people go. Again, take your time, come to a complete stop. Be aware that there's going to be kids playing outside and the ball may run out into the road. Okay? Kids aren't really thinking there might be a car coming. So as a licensed, responsible driver in Pennsylvania, we have to have our eyes on the road at all time. That will allow you to safely stop if you need to. Again, there's going to be more people out, more kids out, eyes on the road. This way everybody's safe.
All right. Folks, Memorial Day is a great time to celebrate, great time to be with the family, especially nowadays that we have the opportunity to be around the family, be around friends. But just remember safety, and remember if you're going to be out there, if you're going to be traveling, drive safe, drive slow enough. Please don't speed, don't do anything. Troopers are going to be out there, especially the Memorial Day weekend, just on the road, making sure that anybody who's coming through is being safe. And if you're going to be out there going to parties, drinking, please designate a driver. Find an app for somebody else that can drive you. You do not want to get a DUI or
being arrested. You get arrested for a DUI, you could lose your job, you could lose your driver's license. It's not worth it. Plan ahead.
All right, folks. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining us and
Absolutely.
talking to us. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, folks. Be safe. And thank you for joining us here on Trooper Talk Tuesday on WYLN.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice, everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Krista Schneider's leading the way into part 2 of this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Krista Schneider. So, we discussed early life. You moved back home for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And what led you from, moving back home, and then now you're in the position as executive director for the Alliance?
Mm-hmm.
What happened that led to
happen?
that? Yeah.
That's a good question. Well, so my background, my education is in urban planning, landscape architecture, urban design, community development. And so when I moved back, there weren't many jobs for that particular skill set, but I was lucky, and I wound up taking a job with Barry Isett and Associates, which is a multidisciplinary engineering firm. And they had an office in downtown Hazleton at the Broad Street Business Exchange. So I started working there. I worked there for actually 8 years, and during that time I spent a lot of my work was working with municipal services, and we did a lot of work for the city of Hazleton, and so I got to learn a lot about some of the need from a community development perspective, and I did a lot of grant writing, and when the opportunity arose to, at the time Mayor Joe Yanuzzi had interest in seeing some downtown projects come to fruition, and Can Do, a community foundation, and then also at that same time, DHD Realty was starting work on renovating some of the buildings they had just purchased. So those three entities came together with the Chamber and a few others, and we formed the Alliance. And so I was actually a founding board member at that time, but then we realized shortly thereafter, well, we needed to hire a full-time person, we needed to raise money, we needed a strategic plan, and so I wound up actually taking the position of the executive director.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Check back tomorrow as Krista continues leading the way into part 3 of this week's segment. Good night.
And to wrap up tonight's newscast, we didn't get the chance to mention yesterday's very important milestone for all of us here at WYLN TV. Monday, May 24th was the 30th anniversary of our first ever broadcast. Most certainly longer than I've been alive, the Gans family's been a leading cable operator dedicated to quality service and community pride in NEPA. WYLN's commitment to the community has a crazy long history of bringing you live local news, sports, events, and it doesn't end there. So, on behalf of myself and everyone here at WYLN TV, here's to all of our viewers who have expressed their trust in our employees over the years. Here's to the surrounding community that supports us with kindness, love, and respect by tuning in daily. From our humble Hazleton station, we thank you. And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page or WYLNTV.com. You can also find LVHN's real facts about COVID-19. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.